So, one of the greatest defenses in NFL history was the 2000 Baltimore Ravens. So I thought, why not? Let's add the 2000 Baltimore Ravens to the 2024 Baltimore Ravens offense. And here's what we got. We got Tony Siragusa, by the way, RIP to Goose. Sam Adams, Rob Burnett, McCrary, Dwayne Starks, Chris McAllister, Love, Poindexter, Harris, Rod Woodson, Herning, Trapp, Peter Boulware, Ray Lewis, OJ. We got Sharper, OJ again, and so on and so on. And today we're going to see what this 2000 Baltimore Ravens defense can do for the 2024 Baltimore Ravens. They're a 99 overall defense, and honestly, for good reason. This is an absolute unit when it comes to a defense. This is a monster defense. And again, through the NFL history books, have made record history with how good they are. So I'm going to be doing this twice today, okay? So let me save this franchise real fast. But I'm going to be simming 2 different times today. We have first time here, and then we're going to do a second time. So week 1 against the Chiefs. They actually lost. See, this is why we sim twice, okay? Because the first time you sim, for some reason, when you add something new, it messes the game up, and it just causes problems. So the first time, I'm expecting some type of iffy behavior, okay? Second time, I think it's going to change. But starting off right away, the team's 5-1. Okay, the team is 5-1, and unlike the Legion of Boom, where it's just like a certain amount of players, this is a whole entire unit, man. This is a whole entire squadron. And back-to-back games where they only allow 3 points is kind of crazy. They lose to the Bengals, okay. They beat the Steelers. Now they play the Chargers. Beat the Chargers, okay. Now they play the Eagles. Beat the Eagles. And they go into the bye week looking pretty damn good, if I'm being honest with you. Only, 2 losses so far. And obviously the rest of the schedule, not the worst thing in the world. Now I'm going to guess that their defense is ranked number 1. I would have to take a wild guess. Number 1 offense, and defensively 4th. Wow. Welcome to the new NFL, where you could have the best defense in football, 2000 Ravens, and they're ranked 4th. But, yeah. You got 3 guys with double-digit sacks. Got a lot of interceptions rocking. I don't know how they're ranked 4th, but okay. Yeah, if that's what logic is a thing for, let's go. I definitely will say I don't think that they are the 4th best defense. I probably would assume they're the best defense. I don't think any team's going to have better numbers than what they have right there. But they do lose to the Steelers right here. And they finish off the season versus the Cleveland Brownies, where they are going to go ahead and win 41-6. They do go ahead and win the AFC North, and they win the conference at 14-3. And let's take a look at these final stats before we head over to our second simulation once we get to the Super Bowl. But they are number 1 seed. Let's take a look at the stats here. 4th ranked offense. Defensively, they were ranked number 1. Okay, that makes more logical sense. Receiving, okay, and defense. 26.5 sacks for Peter Boulware. 18 sacks for Jamie Sharper. 15.5 for Rob Burnett. That's actually insane. Ray Lewis had 4 interceptions. Dwayne Starks, 4 interceptions. Chris McAllister, 4 interceptions. Rod Woodson, 4 interceptions. Yeah. Lamar Jackson loses MVP to Patrick Mahomes, which is kind of crazy. Now, Defensive Player of the Year has Peter Boulware, who wins it. Jamie Sharper is number 2. And only 2 players on the Defensive Player of the Year category. Kind of crazy. Only 2 guys overall wise. All right, so they play divisional round football here. They play against the New York Fighting Jets. They beat the Jets. They play the Buffalo Bills in Baltimore. And they lose to the Bills. Actually, wait, no, they don't lose to the Bills. It keep messing me up that they don't tell you, like, the thing. But they do go out and beat the Bills. And now they are in the Super Bowl versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And let's see how this shapes out. Eagles, and they lose to the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. That is kind of crazy. John Harbaugh is Coach of the Year for obvious reasons. But let's now go ahead and sim it again, and let's see what ends up happening. So again, with these franchises, I like to do 2 sims, just because the first one doesn't always do great. Alright, but this one actually did pretty good with the first one, if we're being honest. Alright, so let's go to the playoffs, and let's see how this goes. Again, like I said, real life, this was a defense that, even with a very lackluster offense, was able to be very successful. They really didn't need an offense. They could just get it done all on defense. So, very interesting so far to see how successful they are nowadays. Where nowadays this defense, let's be honest, would not be able to survive. Mainly because the fact that, 15-2. They 15-2 and they won the conference. With all the penalties and protecting the quarterback and protecting, different things nowadays, this defense would not be able to survive. I mean, you can't even touch a player anymore, it feels like. It's almost to a point where it's flag football. And this defense really took advantage of the fact that it scared the crap out of people. I mean, this defense was, again, the most dominant defense for a reason. It would knock the soul out of you. And that was the biggest factor about the Ravens, 2000 Ravens defense, was people just didn't want to play them. And nowadays, because of all the penalties and, CTE and stuff we know, they wouldn't allow any of that to happen. I mean, like, you can be scared of a defense, but let's be honest, no one's really to a point where they're looking at a defense nowadays and thinking like, oh, I don't want to play that defense. Like, there's not really defense like that in the NFL. You might think that they're good, but you're not to a point like the 2000 Ravens where people would look at this defense, and when they would see, these guys, they would be scared to death of them. I mean, they would actually have nightmares about playing against that unit right there. That unit would keep people up at night. You'd have players who would fake injuries just so they didn't have to play this team. Again, and it's more than just they're good players. It was the fact that they would hit you so hard that you would see colors, like stars and colors in the sky. You wouldn't be able to function correctly as a human the following week because of how hard they hit you. Players would purposely drop passes just because they knew Ray Lewis was going across the middle and Ray Lewis was going to knock you out. So, again, like I said, nowadays, 2000 Ravens wouldn't be successful. They can't be. It just wouldn't work. And seeing OJ here winning the winning the MVP is actually almost poetic. If you don't know who OJ is, absolute hero to the Ravens. Goes to all the Ravens games. I don't know if he passed away. I want to say he did pass away, sadly. But very, very amazing person. Ravens win against the 9-8 Vikings. So the Vikings had their 5th Super Bowl loss. And yeah, so tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. See you guys next one.